Hello, am I the only one here? Hey, Carly, Grace, Deborah. Hi, guys. I was like, I'm here all alone. I probably should have done 8, but I wasn't thinking. I'm always thinking because I'm an early person, so it wasn't till later I was like, maybe I should have done 8. See, I do too, Deborah, because I have to get up early. And I don't know about other people, but after I do a YouTube live, it's really hard to unwind and go to sleep because you just kind of get revved up. Hey, Stacy. I'm telling you, work gets in the way of all my fun. I really need to retire. I really need to find somebody to sell this to. Just saying, hey, girl. I put the link up there for anybody. Carly, you're coming on panel with me, aren't you? And anybody else that wants to talk to Sister Wives? We won't let you be lost. That's how Carly is when we talk about Bravo, though. Then she's lost. She doesn't know what we're talking about. Hey, Carly and Grace, do you guys use StreamYard? Because I was noticing it says new on there and it says, you know how you're always saying that you can't see the comments? And I noticed StreamYard had a thing on there saying for guests to see comments, connect your YouTube account. I don't know. I thought my sister in law was coming. She loves Sister Wives. Hey, Spackle. Yeah, it was a new thing on it. Says new next to it, and it says now they can see comments. Yeah, they've upgraded a bunch of stuff, Stacy. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I appreciate that. I know. I just don't hardly go live anymore. It's terrible. I just haven't had time to make videos, go live, do anything fun. And I'm always like, I have so many videos in my head, and then by the time I get around to them, it's too late. YouTube's very unforgiving too. If you're not uploading videos and going live, they don't want to send anybody your way. But I noticed like when I used to upload a lot of videos and go live like once a week, then they would funnel people to your live. Carly,
Hello?
are you there?
Yeah.
There she is.
Oh, it sounded like two of you for a second. Can you hear me?
No, but it's a little staticky.
Oh, I was playing your video in the background. My bad. That was weird. Anyways, hi.
I know, Stacy. By the time you get home from work, you're too tired. It's just even the videos I do, which are by no means any editing great stuff there, they're still time consuming. An 8-minute video will take me a couple hours. How long did it
Yeah, the one
take
I
you,
did today,
Carly?
a few hours. I didn't totally keep track, but when I was done, I was like, why did that take me so long?
Yeah, because you get something wrong, then you got to go back and redo it, and that takes forever. And
Well, even when I do that, I'm like, forget it. I just want to get it.
yes, you're still real staticky. I wonder why. I've
I'm
never
sad.
heard Carly.
Do I need to leave and come back?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Be right back.
Poor Carly. Look what I put her through. Yeah, Deborah, I don't know how they're going to squeeze much more out of this, really. Because even this season, you can kind of tell is a rehash of last season. And they're so far behind in real time. I don't know why they're doing that. You think they pick up the pace a little bit. Editing is horrible. Editing a video is horrible. And then if you're doing the voiceover and you screw up and you got to start over and take that back out. And like I said, an 8-minute video can take quite a long time. But before, I was really good about uploading 3 videos a week, and that seems to be the sweet spot. And then 1 live. And then you get in YouTube's good graces pretty good. Because I remember that one night when we were doing true crime, and I had like 800 people in here. But that was because YouTube was funneling them all to it. Okay, Carly, are we better now?
You tell me.
Talk a little longer so I can tell.
There once was I don't know.
Yeah, it's still kind of staticky. That's weird because I've never heard you do that.
Yeah, same. That's really
Try
weird.
just turning your mic off and on. Yeah, when they do, you'll know it, Grace, because your live will just suddenly fill up with people. It's kind of fun to watch it happen, but that's usually always because YouTube's like, go to this live.
Am I okay now?
Yeah, I can understand you. It's just fuzzy.
That's so weird.
We'll just leave it. It'll be fine.
As long as I'm not, fully roboting or
Hey,
anything like that.
Pickle.
I don't know what I sound like, so.
Poor Carly. She's having microphone issues.
And
Are
I
you on a
never-
laptop?
Yes. Because for some reason, if I try to do StreamYard through my phone, it won't let me.
I've never tried to do StreamYard through my phone.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened, but it just wouldn't connect. It was weird.
Yeah, it's kind of coming and going.
It's near my phone. Let me move that out of the way. Is that good?
I think it's better.
Okay, because I had my phone literally right next to me, so that would make sense.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, good. Thank you, Stacy. Found the problem. So, you watched last night's episode, right?
Yeah, but then I had to watch it again today because my DVR kept messing up. So I watched some of it last night and the rest of it when I got home.
Do you use TLC or Discovery?
Well, I have Dish.
Oh, gotcha. So you get
So I recorded on the DVR and then watch it back, and it just, I don't know, it was all messed up last night.
That's weird.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, if I tried to fast forward through the commercials, it would take me back to the beginning. It was really weird.
Oh, I hate that. Same thing online when you try to do a video and it starts you
I guess we'll go ahead and start.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this. I think this is really weird. I was looking at Janelle and Cody and everybody's Twitter accounts. They used to always tweet during the season,
Yeah, the
and
live
then
tweeting.
they quit. I wonder why they quit.
I think, well, because Robin, I remember she was on Instagram a lot promoting Sisterwives Closet and just general things, and she stopped because people just kept giving her hate. Like, even posts from 4 years ago, you'll see comments as of recently just hating on her. It's kind of funny.
No, just saying none of them tweeting. I was looking. The last year they were tweeting about the show was 2021.
Yeah.
I really miss it.
I do too. I would probably get a Twitter just to see that because
She would do it just for that.
I would. You totally would. That'd be hilarious.
Just saying, like, I just wanted to kick Cody in the balls.
Oh, him and Rob, they just had such punchable faces last night. Like, I don't know how Christine is able to just be so calm with them.
I don't either, except I think because she's living her best life, so she just don't care. She just gives no Fs.
Even still, like, just to do it of 27, 28 years of just misery, like, it probably felt
Yeah. Well, I saw a tweet. I meant to put it in here and I forgot to get it. But it said, when Cody says Christine's acting like she's out there living her best life, and somebody said she's not acting, she is out there living her best life.
Yeah, she is. Like, you can just see it in her face. Like, she made the right decision.
She is so happy.
Deborah, I do too. His hair's got to go. I don't know why he holds on to it.
This is weird. I'm going to start at the beginning where it's with him and Christine still eating lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was such an awkward scene. You can tell production made them do that. I don't think that was organic.
Well, she gave him a hug, and I thought, did she do that or did they tell her to do it?
I think that's just her nature, and she probably didn't even think about it.
Well, I don't know if she just realizes like how much he's angry at her. So she's probably, oh, it's not that bad, or he's calmed down by now, and no.
Well, and that's what he keeps talking about. She ruined his big picture. He ruined the big picture, not her. Well, I mean, how did he think there was going to be a big picture when he kept favoring one wife?
Well, I don't understand what the big picture is. Is it just everyone being together or everyone being together and happy? Because it seems like he's fine being in his own corner with Robin as long as everyone. The same with Robin. It's like she wanted Mary to stay around even though Cody clearly was done with her. But she's like, hang on with me. We just have to rebuild. So it's like they're fine as long as the family's together for optics, but they don't care if everyone's happy or not. As long as they're happy.
Well, and if she really cares about Mary, why would she want her to live a miserable life like that?
Exactly.
That's so selfish of her.
She's been selfish from the get-go. And then to say, like, she acts like they're indebted to her because she had options but went with them. So it's like, oh, well, they have to stay together for her sake, for her little porch dream.
Spackle said, I think the larger your family is, the more time and affection split and everyone gets less. But it seems obvious he's married to one lady he's in love with and the others is domestic partnerships. Yeah, I come from a big family.
So do I.
Yeah. And it is weird because my oldest brother and sister were so much older than me that I have no memory of living with them. That's how much older they were. But the weird thing is I ended up being closer to them than anybody else once I became an adult. So there you go.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. Like, I get being spread thin, but it's, for one, he chose this life. And two, he chooses based on, like, who is treating him with respect, who's treating him like the leader. So he could spend his time spread it out, or even just phone calls, video chats, because the kids are typically all out of state. So it's like he could make an effort, but he won't.
Well, I think the other thing too that a lot of them aren't addressing, but Janelle kind of goes on it for a little bit, is as your kids get older and move out, your entire life changes. You know, empty nest syndrome is a real thing. So here you have Janelle, Mary, and Christine all in that same season of life where the kids are all getting older and leaving. And then you got Robin pretty much starting over because she's got young kids, nobody else does.
Yeah.
So that's going to cause a problem right there because they're not in the same seasons of life.
No. That's why when he says, oh, they're just, or Christine's just playing, it's like her kids are old enough that she can have that freedom too. She doesn't have to worry about, because she even referred to Cody as babysitting, but her kids are at an age. I can't stand that. They're at an age where it's not babysitting. It's just, they have that freedom.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude.
It's always a big adjustment when your kids leave and you and your husband look at each other and go, now what? Because your whole life was centered around children.
Yeah.
So that's a tough time no matter what. And then you add polygamy and then you add Robin. So
that was always my question too. Like, what were they going to do when all the kids grew up and moved on? Like, is he just seriously going to bounce from house to house? Was that their plan?
Well, you know, Robin said they were going to sit on the front porch in rocking chairs with the grandkids. So there you go.
And she makes that sound like that was a one home idea too.
Yeah. Which she knew Christine was never going to do because she was pretty adamant there was never going to be one home.
Yeah. And it's like she can still have that because they act like, you know, when parents divorce, it's like you're still family even though you're not. So it's like she takes a divorce as abandonment. Like they'll never see each other again.
And you know, the family get-togethers is sad, but that's another thing that changes as the kids get older. I mean, we're going through that now where we used to every Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. All my kids were with me every year, no question. Now every year is different. Sometimes they go to their spouses' families. Sometimes they come here. It all changes.
Yeah,
even if Christine hadn't left, it was going to change.
Yeah. Because when I grew up, you know, it was the same thing. Everyone together at the same houses for holidays. And then as siblings and cousins had our own families, it's like, it just is what it is. That's why when Robin was telling the girls, oh, they're not spending Thanksgiving with us. And instead of saying, you know, they've got kids out of state that they want to see, just, well, they don't want to see us. They don't want to follow the rules. It's like, you could have totally not said that, but that's who she is.
Yeah. Pickle said Christine said they had no endless meat. Oh, why can't I say that? Janelle has basically said there's no sex life. We know he isn't sleeping with Mary. Robin gets all of him his time, his affection, the majority. You know, that this is what I thought was funny because Robin said the other women didn't want to be intimate with him. I think she's talking about Janelle because obviously Christine wanted to be, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't want to be with Christine. So why was that okay? I guess it's only okay if it's Cody that doesn't want to be intimate, not the women.
Yeah, because he has options. Whereas,
well, and it goes back. I keep saying people forget that these people are Mormon. At the end of the day, they're Mormon. So and that's the only thing I get irritated with Janelle when she says I didn't sign on for patriarchy. She did. She absolutely did when she became Mormon. That is a I can't say it. Religion. It's run by the men. And Cody was right when he said she agreed to run her will to mine. That is how the Mormon religion works. So
I think she probably thought, or like they had different ideas of patriarchy. Like I think she thought with him, you know, he gives me what I need. We're kind of equal. I have my independence. But now he's just like straight up, you need to do as I say. It's my way or the highway. So I wonder if
Yeah,
that's what
I
she's
agree with that. He's gotten much, which they all agree, he's gotten angry and bitter.
Yeah.
But
And I don't
I
think she
just
expected
sometimes I'm surprised that Janelle is surprised. I'm like, come on, Janelle, you know how the Mormon religion works, you
Yeah.
know?
I think her biggest issue right now is his treatment towards the kids. Otherwise, I don't think she'd have as much of an issue.
Yeah, see, I do too. I think she would have stayed forever if he would just be good to the kids,
Yeah, same.
which
'Cause
is kind of sad to me.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that do that, that just stayed married because it's easy. It's easier than getting divorced.
well, 'cause
So they just stay
remember
whether
when
they're really happy or not, you know?
remember when Christine said on the tell-all, she said, I would complain about Cody to her, and she'd be like, "There's nothing wrong with him. He's a good husband." And that was when Robin was around too. So I don't think Robin was as big of an issue until Robin's kids started getting treated a lot better.
See, and that's I want to talk about this group text with the siblings.
Yes.
What did you guys think of that? I wish we could see it.
I want to see the receipts. Somebody's got to have them. You know they do.
God, I wish you're all missing the big picture. This was their plan to push the rest of the wives out. Oh, I don't know about that. You think that? I don't think they would. I think they thought they would stay and put up with it.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted them to leave. I really don't.
No.
I do think they're pissed that they're leaving. They didn't want them to leave.
Because Robin keeps crying about, her dream, and they're taking it away. It's like she's telling them her dream is to have the big family get-togethers and all grow old. No, her dream was to be where she was now. I don't think they ever wanted to build or planned to. So I think she was fine. Like, she got the big house. She's the favorite. I think she wanted to be not the only wife, but the favorite wife. She can't be a favorite wife if she's the only wife.
Yeah.
So that's where, and if she ever wants to break from him, it's like, well, you're stuck with him. He's got nowhere else to go.
They needed their MLM money, so they never wanted to. I think money was a big part of it. Huge part of it.
Oh, for sure. You've got Mary, one of the top earners at LuLaRoe. Christine and Janelle have their, side gigs going on. Robin's the only one that hasn't worked.
They wanted them to stay and pay the bills, but they were always moving the goalposts. I agree with that. I agree there too. But, I think in my mind, I'm like, how in the hell did they get these smart women, Mary and Janelle, to put in money on Robin's $1 million house? That's crazy to me. Why did they do it? I
wonder if Janelle thought eventually they would sell it and get their money back. Or
I'm sure that's what they told her, but I don't think Cody has any intention. He loves that house.
Yeah. It's so big. I'm like, what do they need that for? But I guess I wonder if she plans on her daughters living there until they get married.
Serves him right for being so stupid. I feel bad for Janelle, and she's really kicking herself. She knows she screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
why aren't you filming in her
Stacey?
house? That is so weird.
Huh?
It's like, I don't know why they're not filming in her house, because Mary shows up freezing, and instead of saying, "Oh, come inside where it's warm. Here, let me get you a jacket."
That was so weird because Mary didn't know they were going to be outside, or she would have worn a coat.
Yeah.
That was very odd.
And then the Thanksgiving, they didn't shoot new footage. It was the same footage from the year before. It's like, wow, does she just really not want to clean up her house?
I guess it's full of boxes. What are all these boxes? They must have some secret business. I don't know.
For years, they've said she's a hoarder and likes to shop.
It is weird.
I
agree with Stacey, though. I do think Mary thought Cody would treat her better if she kept giving him money. Like it would buy her way back in or something,
I mean, I do feel bad for her, but at the same time, he said for years, I'm not coming around. Like, I don't think of us as a married couple. So
Yeah.
But then when he said, oh, I told Christine maybe I can work it out with Mary, he's so full of it.
I don't think that ever happened. I think him and Robin are such liars. I'm like, things that never happened for $500.
Yeah.
He was never going to take Mary back. And see, I think that still goes back to the Mormon religion, where once he heard those audio calls of her doing phone sex with the guy, he was never going to take her back.
No.
That was it, you know?
That's what was so weird was when you're watching the show, he seemed very supportive of her. Like she was
Yeah, then he heard the voicemails.
Yeah. But on the show, they don't address that. So a lot of fans are like, wait a minute, why did he go from being all supportive to now wants nothing to do with her? It's
Yeah.
like, well, if you have the full context, it makes more sense.
Absolutely.
But they never mention on the show her banana pictures and I love you, Sam, and
all the sex talk and
yeah. So if they make that a thing on the show, the fans can say, oh, but Mary must have either, well, actually, no, I bet Cody was like, do not bring that up on air. We can't have people knowing she thinks there's a man better than me.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he probably had him cut some stuff out because he's not going to be publicly humiliated like that on TV, even though it came out on the internet anyway. But yeah. There's no way. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's funny she still refers to it as a catfish. And it's like, Mary, you kind of had an affair there. Like, call it what it is.
I was wondering too when she's talking to Peyton and he says Dad told us not to go to Grandma's funeral. Were they talking about Mary's mom?
I think so, or Janelle's, because her mom is still alive. So there was one funeral though that I thought she did go to.
Well, they showed Mary going to her mom's funeral alone, which I thought was horrible.
Yeah. Because I think Cody had said he had gone to, was it? I thought he went to all of them. Because I remember there was one he said Robin wanted to go, but he said no, she should stay. And I think that was Janelle.
Chat, no. I was thinking maybe I'm remembering because I remember Mary driving alone, and then her mom dies while she's in the car and still trying to get there. And I thought that was terrible that they let her drive herself alone trying to get to the hospital before her mom dies, and nobody went with her.
Yeah, and then he let her go through that alone. I was like, Mary, that should tell you right there that he's done.
I don't think Mary would ever realize that Cody's just not into anything. I've always said what Christine said. When he met Robin, he found his soulmate, and then he wanted nothing to do with any other woman physically. He wanted them all to stay and keep raising the kids and keep things the same. He just didn't want to have sex with them.
Yeah, I think each wife had a role, whereas Janelle was the money, Christine was the motherly, Mary, just the first wife, I guess. I don't really know what he wanted from her.
It's the internet FBI. Well, thank you for clearing my channel.
Oh my gosh. At least you're good to go.
This is what I love about a live. You just never know.
Could be a good or bad thing. We've had some, we have history with people showing up to your live.
Yeah, we haven't had too much of one lately, but you never know. You never know who's going to pop in, do you?
Yeah.
And I'm still getting heat for that. How many years later?
Only 2. You would think it's
God, has it only been 2 years?
Yep.
God, it feels like 10.
Some days it feels like 10, and then other days it feels like a week ago.
Okay, back to Sisterwives. The FBI got me all, you know me, I'm like, squirrel.
Yeah.
he was only supportive of her because he needed to believe that she didn't betray him. Then he changed. Yeah. Yep. When he heard the voicemails, he's like, done.
Well, anytime they'd have their little get-togethers, and he wanted her opinion, he wanted her there because he knew, oh, she's in love with me. She's just going to agree with whatever I say. Because notice too, when he told Christine he wanted to do post-breakup counseling, he's like,
"Oh, that was such a bunch of that was such a bunch of crap."
He wanted to reach out to Pat, not Nancy. Like,
he was never going to do either. He was never going to go to counseling. That was all for the camera.
Yeah, but I think Pat was the only one that was always like agreeing with him, whereas Nancy took him to task, and he said, "I don't think I need to admit to anything." So
yeah,
it's like, why would you pick a therapist you haven't seen in, gosh, a decade, if not more? So
because he knew he was never going to go anyway, and that's what Christine said. Yeah, he's been talking about counseling for years, but he'll never go.
Yeah, and him being,
he's certainly not going to go now that she's left. I mean, come on.
And him being that angry, that's not her problem. Like, dude, you need to figure that out. I'm fine.
Yeah. Where's that anger come from? Sometimes I wonder if he's repressed.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Something. Because
sometimes that crosses my mind. I know there's been a lot of rumors, but it makes you wonder.
And he keeps saying, like, he's not in love with her, hasn't been for a long time. He was only, like, he felt like it was his duty to be her husband. So it's like, okay, you're not angry that it's over. You're angry she left you and you didn't have a choice.
I don't think he is searching for a new wife. Robin acts like there's not going to be any more. Really, at this point, what would the point be to add another one? Because he said he doesn't want any more kids. So that would be the only reason to add another one, right? Would be to have more children.
Or the ticket to heaven. But if he meets a woman,
oh, well, that's true.
She might want kids. And I don't see him agreeing to that.
See, Spackle picked up on what I'm saying. That's a lot of overcompensation if that's the case that comes with husband duties.
Yeah. I think he's so selfish in every corner of a marriage.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Like I just get that vibe.
Same. I don't think sex is good with him. I just don't.
He's
too selfish to be a good lover. I mean, there's no way.
Well, there's a video I saw on TikTok today where she said, there's no way a man can wear pants that tight if he's gifted downstairs. I mean, that's not totally wrong. Oh God, the ear piercing was that not the stupidest
thing? That ear piercing thing was so weird and so scripted and.
Well, how do you go from, the kids and Robin had like this blow up conversation to, oh, she's getting her ear pierced today, like she's a 5-year-old.
Yeah, and then there's Robin right outside the door. Come on.
Yeah,
she's standing outside watching, obviously.
Well, she was the one, I think, filming him in the car, and then she was right there when she got done. Which it's like, okay, he wants the family to get tested just to see each other for the holiday, but he'll take her to a tattoo parlor to get a piercing.
Yeah, make that make sense.
So, yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Cassandra's here. Hi.
Hey, Cass.
I didn't see her come in.
Yeah, I was like, how did the gear shift so crazy where it's like Robin bawling her eyes out to ear piercing? It's like, this was such a waste of, maybe they just needed a filler for the episode.
Well, and then you got to wonder, though, how the other daughters feel when they were told they couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, watching him, I've always said he acts with Robin's kids and his like a grandfather instead of a father. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's just different with them in general. He made it sound like he needed to be there for the younger kids, like Saul and Ari, but he's the same way with the older ones.
Yeah, but he does not discipline his kids with Robin like he did. Like when he talked about the ones staying up all night, they would have never put up with that from their other kids.
No.
That would not have been allowed. And you can tell that Robin's holding him back and being like, well, she wants to stay up all night. She's going to stay up all night. I guarantee you that would not have been allowed with those other kids.
Well, and she said just last night, too, that whenever he's not around, they stay up late.
Yeah.
And remember in Alaska, was it Alaska? When, was it Garrison tried to discipline Solomon, and he was like, he put a stop to that real quick. Like, you will not discipline the golden boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the differences have been huge. So there's no way those other kids are not going to resent Robin's kids when they get away with everything and they got away with nothing. And that's why I'm saying he's more of a grandparent to them than a father. It's so weird.
Yeah. Like the fun grandpa.
Yeah. Like we don't discipline our grandkids. I mean, if they were staying a couple days and did something, I would. But in general, I leave it to the parents because I just want to have fun as grandma. So
yeah.
I already did that job. I'm doing the grandma job now.
Yeah. And it's so weird that Robin says, like, her and her kids are treated like outsiders and they weren't welcomed in. And I wish she would admit, I think she holds a grudge from when they moved to Vegas and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm pregnant. And the kids were like, they didn't react. I think she holds on to that.
Oh, I do too, for sure. And yes, he needs to just shave his head. It's so ridiculous, this hair of his. Well, he either needs to shave his head or get hair implants.
Well, it's almost like he has a lot of it shaved off already. It's like, dude, just embrace your age and shave it all off.
Just do it. Just get rid of it.
Because when he talked about his hair care routine, it's like, that seems so high maintenance. Yeah. I don't even do that to my own hair. So
he's doing too much, way too much. I would have to say too, though, that the scene with Janelle and Christine and the Christmas tree, that felt so forced. That's another one. Production put that together. That was not organic. That was not. And I think Christine was, and I love her, but she was being a little overly dramatic. That whole, I hate it when they have these set up, semi-scripted scenes like that one was.
Yeah.
It just did not feel real at all from either of them.
What did you think about them talking in front of Savannah?
When was that?
In the first episode. When they were putting together that bookshelf and...
Oh, yeah. I kind of go back because she is in college now. I mean, she's old enough to know, I guess. I don't know.
Because at the time, I was like, okay, she's 17. And that's, but then on the flip side, I'm like, it's kind of showing what Cody says, like, oh, they bad mouth me in front of the kids. And I was like, well, I guess, kind of are to her, but I don't know. I was taking back and forth on it.
Yeah, I kind of do too, because she's older. I still probably wouldn't do it, but,
Yeah. But like he said, I bet TLC told them to do it.
Could have, because I've never seen, I feel like this is going to be a way more scripted season already. Like I said, the lunch scene was scripted. The scene with Christine was scripted. And the problem with Christine is, bless her heart, she can't help but be overly dramatic if she's not going to just be herself,
Yeah. Well, and for the first time in the preview for next week, we see Cody like talk to the camera and like talk to the audience. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall. That seems to be the big thing right now. Bravo's doing it a lot. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know. It takes you out of it when they do it. And Andy Cohen's always said that's the risk of breaking the fourth wall, because then you realize there's a camera there and you're not just watching a family. There's
Yeah.
a lighting crew, a sound crew. It takes you out of the whole thing.
Well, that's what's kind of funny too is he's well aware people are watching him, but he still is acting like, because when he tells, like on the couch interviews, like Robin's not the favorite. That it's like we've been watching you for this is now 18 seasons. We've all seen it. You're on TV, so
Yeah.
don't gaslight us like that. But it's like
Yeah,
he's still
he's definitely the villain now. That's for sure. Mary was the villain before
yeah.
for
But he
quite a
charges
few years.
$150 for a cameo. Like
I said way back that Christine and Janelle should have been charging more and Cody should have been charging less. But I think when this stuff came out, then everybody was doing Cody cameos as a joke.
Yeah.
So then he raised his price,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what's crazier is not so much that he charges that much, but people will pay for it.
Yeah. And most of them, all the ones I've seen replayed on TikTok are jokes. They're sending somebody as a prank.
Yeah.
And
then there's somewhere he's like, so and so wanted me to wish you happy birthday, and he'll say some cheesy nonsense. And
I'm like, Cody, they're laughing at you, not with you. They're laughing at you literally.
Lots of peace and lots of love from Cody Brown. Like he's so full of himself. Can't handle it.
Okay, now we got to get back to this sibling chat because we still didn't go over it enough.
Well, what's funny is
the sibling.
Did you notice
text?
How all of them, except for Robin, made it seem like it was a huge thing, whereas Christine, Janelle, and Mary all said, "I think she's blowing it way out of proportion," and even Cody said, "I ignored it. I didn't want to be part of it." So
and that's what Robin should have done.
Yeah.
It only got messed up when Robin got involved and decided there needed to be a video call. How are you going to get that many young adults on a video call at the same time?
Yeah,
there's no way.
There's 18 of them for one. They're in different states. They have husbands, wives, kids, jobs, school, whatever.
And I'm telling, she's a control freak. She wants to control everything, and she should be ashamed of herself because now Christine said that division is probably never going to be repaired now between her kids and the rest of them. And Robin, in my opinion, is to blame for it. She should have stayed out of it and let the kids do their thing.
Yeah. Because did you notice when Peyton said somebody suggested to the parents? I think that was McKelty.
She what?
Did you notice when Peyton said somebody suggested we include the parents? I think that was McKelty.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Because, well, for one, why do the parents need to be included if it's a sibling gift exchange?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, who else was suggested the parents other than McKelty?
Yeah.
She seems to be the only one cool with Robin. So that's why I was like, that's weird. But
very weird.
For Robin to turn it into, let's all get together and talk. It's like, that's not what this is for. They're talking about Christmas gifts.
Yeah, and she's saying, how they don't even know their siblings. We know they don't even know their siblings' names, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But it's you and Cody are the ones to blame for that, and a video call isn't going to fix that.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Hunter said.
It's silly to think that this video call was going to mend this with the kids where they're going to know their older siblings in a video call. No.
Well, and that just tells me, too, like when COVID was all crazy, why didn't she suggest it then? Like when, Cody was talking about, getting everybody, why didn't she suggest it then? Like, hey, let's set up a voice chat with Gabe and Garrison. Let's set up a call with,
she just wants to be the victim all the time. She's a perpetual victim.
That's why I feel like
poor Robin.
That's why I feel like she purposely sabotaged that particular setup.
Yeah, for sure. I think she did too. I think she was just going to insert herself and make sure she wanted to control it. And then when she couldn't, she made sure it all went bad, which is really sad. Because
It's like
I
nobody
do think
wants
it.
to tax Robin. And that's
I
the thing
think it'll
too,
be
is
really
her
sad though if that
her
is the last split between the kids. You know.
well, it sounds like her kids got included and everything was fine until she had to be dumb and be like, let's all get together and talk on video. Like,
Oh, your mic's
why
so much
now?
better now.
I just plugged in my charger. That's the only thing I
Yeah, it must
did
have been
different.
it. I don't know.
Oh,
Because now
bless
you're
you.
loud and clear. That's
Well,
so
that's good.
funny.
Glad that
McKelty
got
is a
fixed.
pot stirrer.
Yeah, I don't know, because the thing last season when she wanted everyone to say bye, I feel like part of that was production putting her up to it too.
Yeah, I do. I think they had a big hand in that. Like I said, production needs to quit trying to script these people because it doesn't work. It just does not work with this group. They're not actors.
No.
So when
And
you
I think
start
they were
trying to
hoping,
produce them, they just go over the top.
yeah, my guess was they wanted to arrange that and hope that there'd be some kind of argument or fight, because I don't think Cody would have shown up had they, not told him to, or, it's kind of like his job where, he's getting paid. So it's like, you do what we tell you. So, because nobody wanted to be there. So I was like, why would they show up and just stand there all apart and be weird?
That was the most awkward scene. I had secondhand embarrassment just watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It made me so uncomfortable just to watch it.
Yeah.
I was just like, stop.
And of course, Robin had to make it be like that her kids are hurt. And it's like, no, they looked mad.
Her older ones look so pissed off the minute they walk back there.
And then
see, that's disrespectful. They're always wanting to talk about everybody disrespecting them. That was so disrespectful of her older kids to walk in with an attitude like that. That's terrible.
Well, and then for, what's her name? Ariella, to be like, go on dates. It's like, somebody told her to say that.
Absolutely. Somebody told her to say that. There's no way that little girl thought of that on her own. Oh, go on dates.
Yeah.
Either they told her to say it or she's heard Robin saying it. Robin thinks dates cure everything. Girl.
Well, Robin said that, I think, in the previous episode where she said, you guys used to go on fun dates and everything was fine. And so I bet she told her.
Robin's never been married for 28 years, so she doesn't know.
Well, like Christine said, she never really lived the polygamy lifestyle, because as soon as she came in, well, she had her own little place for that bit. And then shortly after that, they had to pack up and move to Vegas, where she had her own house. And then now in Flagstaff, had her own house. So she never had to live what they did.
No.
And she's been the favorite from the get-go. So it's not like she's had to deal with the jealousy or he's spending too much time apart from me. It's like, lady, your other sister wife just had a whole baby, and then he's leaving her for 11 days to go to the beach with you.
That was horrible.
Like, nuh-uh.
That was so bad.
But she's going to argue that she's not the favorite or didn't have special treatment. Come on. And then
they all knew that things were already going bad when they were in Vegas. Because remember, they did something all the girls went to that lunch somewhere and they all admitted that they never get together. And that was back in Vegas. So things were already bad.
Yeah. When Robin told Mary, truth be told, she's been talking about leaving since Vegas. But then when they got with Cody and everybody, she acted like she had no idea things were bad in Vegas. It's like,
yeah.
Which is it?
She's such a liar.
And it's like, just because you see them going out on a date does not mean things are good. They took their therapist on their vacation. What does that tell you?
Oh my God.
That's like, I'm like, when she acts like, I didn't see any deal breakers. I don't know what was so bad. Did I miss something? It's like, yeah, because you were getting all the attention. You didn't have to feel what she did.
Yeah. So of course she never had to.
It's like, so of course you're not going to understand.
No, I wish Christine would have kept going. I hated that she cut herself off
Mm-hmm.
because she was going on a roll, and I was like, yes, keep going. And then she's like, oh,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't do any good to bring this up. I'm going to stop. And I was like, no, don't stop.
Yeah, it's like, yes, it does. Do it for us.
Keep going. And while you're there, show us the text messages from the kids. You know?
I feel like that'll get brought up in the tell-all, but I really hope like Peyton or Gwen or any of them put them out there. Because if anyone's
Yeah,
gonna put them out there,
I keep watching. I was scanning the internet today.
yeah, I was like, they've got to have it.
I was
There's
like,
no
one
way.
of these kids is going to leak those. I feared it'd be Peyton because he's ornery. I'm not a
Him
fan
and-
of Peyton, but
Yeah, I was like, if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Peyton just because he likes to gossip, or Gwen because she has her channel.
yeah, maybe Gwen will leak them on her channel.
That's
Can you
what I'm
imagine
like.
how many
I
views
want to
she would get?
I want to like comment on something of hers, be like, release the DMs.
We need to see.
Yes, because man, and if it gets brought up in the tell, I'm like, maybe they'll do it then, because there's no way that won't get brought up.
Robin got a freaking nanny, for crying out loud. I know it's crazy to me that she got a nanny. What does the nanny do?
Because Cody always says like, oh, Christine never tried with Robin's kids, and it's like, no, remember she was hurt because Christine got a nanny. She's like, you have 3 sister wives. Why don't you trust us to watch your kids? And I don't even remember what reason she gave, but she's had nannies.
I think she said something about, oh, well, you were so busy, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just a bullshit excuse.
It's like she's already watching the 15 other kids. What's 3 more?
So they can be in the bedroom all day. You know, I was shocked when they accidentally showed that sexy picture in the bedroom of her on Cody's car. Did you guys see that?
What? No?
The one of Robin in the high heels?
No. What?
Does anybody else know what I'm talking about?
Do you have
She's
it?
a freak in the sheets. I'm telling you, she's a freak.
I remember seeing
that's why she had all that Victoria's Secret.
Well, there was one episode, I think either TLC scrubbed it or edited it, but someone said there's an episode where they're doing like a walkthrough of her house, and in the bedroom there was KY on the nightstand.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Kay, have you been gone or have I been gone? I've been pretty much MIA. Hey, Valerie. Does anybody else in the chat know what I'm talking about? The picture. Now I'm going to have to go to the internet and look. It's a picture.
Do you have it? We need to see this.
It's a picture of Robin in really sexy clothes, big high heels, kissing Cody, leaning on his car. And it's in her bedroom. Am I the only one that noticed it?
Yeah, I never.
Let me see if I can find it. You talk for a minute, Carly. I'll see if I can find it on the internet.
It's like, because you can find the Mary and the banana photo on the internet, but no, never heard of that one ever. And it doesn't totally surprise me, but yeah, seriously, with the nanny, because it's like, okay, you and Cody are both home like all the time. The 3 older kids, it's like, seriously, what of all the wives, why did she need the hired help? I don't understand that. And obviously no one's helping her, because if her house is so dirty she doesn't want it filmed, it's like, how do you not have the time with all those people in your house to clean it up?
Found it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Show us.
I don't know how good it'll come out on here because it's a picture of a picture.
Oh,
Let me try.
Share with the class, Miss K. Where did you find it? Just Google?
Yeah, I just Googled it.
What did you Google? Robin in high heels?
Yeah, pretty much.
Robin Brown, the selfish whore.
Oh, dang it. I thought I could just upload it, but it's. Hang on.
Now you're just teasing.
Dang it. Well, I saved it to my computer, but hang on. See, I don't go live enough and then I forget how to do everything. That's the problem.
Robin's daughters, I think the oldest one is 21. And then I think Brianna is 19. Because Brianna graduated high school. I can't remember if it was this year or last year, because Mary went. Hey, Her Majesty. Good to see you.
Okay, maybe I have it now.
I want to know if Dayton is still living on the side of their house. Yeah, they're so behind in airing. They're 2 years behind, even on this season. I'm hoping they finish this season and then air the next one like in the spring.
Oh, how come it's not showing up?
Oh, what a tease.
You can't see it either, huh?
No.
Dang it. Why? Why won't it let me? It's showing, I mean, I can see it and it says add to the stream and I did. That's so weird.
I don't see anything. Can you just share the link? And then we can all just look on our own?
Well, because when I click the link, it doesn't show this picture, which is really weird.
Oh, that is weird.
Let me see if I can find a different version.
You can add it to the thumbnail.
There's other ones, but they're really blurry. Because, like I said, it's a picture of a picture.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, yeah, that one's really bad. I wonder why that doesn't work to just show it.
Just saying, do you mean Dayton did the nanny? Is that what you mean? Yeah, Miss Cassandra said it's saving us the horror of seeing her. Hey, if we've seen the Mary and the banana, this can't be as bad. Is that Jackie person still on Twitter?
See this one at the very right?
Oh, I have seen that. Okay, I thought you meant like she was in like lingerie or like a dress or something.
No, but she's pretty sexy. For her, that's a sexy outfit.
Yeah, I have seen that.
High heels and oh, it already disappeared again. I suck at this.
Yes, I was rewatching old episodes not so long ago, and I remember seeing that one thinking, dang.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this too. Did you guys catch Valerie saying, can you tell me more about Dayton on the side of the house? Did you catch when Cody said, Robin respects me so much that when her older kid didn't go by my rules, they were out of the house?
Yeah.
So that had to be when Dayton was put out in the trailer, right?
See, I don't know, because I've heard it was like his way of moving out, but Robin probably didn't want him to like be on his own, so it was kind of best of both worlds, I think. But then I've also heard the same thing. He probably didn't want to follow the rules, but I could also see them saying, well, you don't have a choice. You have to.
See, that had to be who Cody was talking about. Was that on episode 1 or this one? Where Cody says that?
I think the last one.
It's got to be referring to Dayton because there's nobody else in her house been kicked out.
Yeah, and in this episode, he said Aurora has been the one to really treat him like a leader and father and respect.
Head of the family.
Yeah. So we know she didn't do it.
I think he got in trouble and that's why he was putting the trailer out in the driveway.
Yeah.
I really do. But you know, Cody's got a thing for getting rid of his adult sons, right? So weird. It's like he's threatened by his own sons and wants them out of the house.
Well, I remember Peyton, he kind of made it seem like Dayton is not like almost like he wants to be away from them and Robin won't cut the cord.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah. Like I said, she's a control freak.
So that's why it made sense when people were saying he probably wanted to either be in a dorm or an apartment. And she said, no, how about we get you this little trailer. It's like having an apartment, but you're still close to home. So
I think probably Robin put out the rumor because she didn't want people to know Dayton was in trouble with Cody. So she probably just put that rumor out that, you know, he couldn't live on his own, but that way he's out of the house, but not totally on his own. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I agree. The girls seem so immature for their age. They seem like kids that have been homeschooled, but I know they're not homeschooled.
No.
And I don't mean all homeschooled kids, but there's a lot of them, especially when it's because of religion.
Yeah.
Where they're very socially awkward.
Well, I also heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard Aurora also went to NAU and then dropped out like within the first semester or the first year. So I'm just kind of like, well, why is it Cody is so ready to kick all the other kids out, but Robin's kids, it's like they're fine as long as I just don't see how following house rules is enough to just live there forever and not have to stick to their commitments, or because he's, you know, probably using all their money to pay for her kids to go to college and all that.
I bet the older girls won't leave until they get married. I bet they won't either.
Yeah. Because when Robin says we have to rebuild, I almost think she's using her kids to get the life she wanted as far as like following their religion. And I think she probably wants them to follow polygamy. But if they go off on their own, they might rebel, or because remember she said she didn't like the influence Vegas could have on them.
Yeah.
So I think they're worried of them being rebellious. So they're keeping.
Well, it's always been my experience that the ones that are held back are the most rebellious when they get older, because then they're like,
yeah, exactly.
Because they never got to do anything. And the ear piercing, we were talking about that earlier, Valerie. That ear piercing, that whole part was so gross and so ick and so scripted. I was like, no. Mm-mm. And like I said, I bet it hurt his other daughter's feelings, but he doesn't seem to care. He just doesn't seem to care about his older kids anymore. It's so weird to me.
No. And it seemed like he was close to them in the beginning. Like, I don't know if, and someone said too, they think that he's threatened by Logan, because I guess some of the kids look more to Logan as the not
father figure.
Yeah. Because what was it? Gwen, I think the other one's like, they wanted him to take them to the daddy-daughter dance, and he just had, and then when Gwen got married, a lot of people were thinking he might walk her down the aisle. But, and how sad is that she walked herself down, and Cody.
That made me so sad when I read what she wrote about that. That made me so sad.
And who shows up 2 hours late to their kid's wedding?
Yeah, that's disrespectful. Cody, Robin.
Yeah.
It's so weird because they made such a big deal out of the other weddings, and now he can't even be bothered to be on time.
Yeah.
And walk his daughter down the aisle. I don't get it.
Well, I wonder if she even wanted him to, or if, because I
think
thought
she did, only because she seemed very sad that he didn't.
Because I thought she said she planned to walk herself down so that way, like, there was just no issue. Like, if Logan did or her mom did, there'd probably be issue. But it's like, it's your wedding. You don't need to worry about keeping the peace. Do
I
what you
think
want.
it was like a self-protection thing.
Yeah.
So she just geared herself to walk herself down the aisle, knowing her dad probably wasn't going to. So it's like a preemptive strike. I'll just walk myself down.
Yeah.
It was very sad to me because I think she would have wanted him to.
Yeah. Like, if he showed up and said, "Can I give you away?" Like, I think she absolutely would have let him.
Stacy said the sad thing is with their religion, they could be married by next month. That's why I say people forget they're Mormon. And especially the polygamous sect is known as the extremists, right? Am I right? Somebody in the chat tell me. So they're the extreme Mormons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like in the early seasons, they focused more on religion, whereas
Way more.
it's like they haven't done those church sessions or even talked about church in forever.
Until it came up to Christine's divorce. Then they're going to bring up church. I was like, you hypocrites.
That's why when Janelle's like, she doesn't even follow that anymore, so the rules don't exactly apply. But at the same time, it's like, when was the last time any of you went to church?
I do think Janelle takes church more seriously than most of them. I think it's the only reason she stayed.
Yeah. But she did come out and say that they're done, so, which kind of shocked me because she did say, due to the religion, she wasn't going to do a formal divorce or anything, but just be separate.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you want to spend the rest of your life attached to Cody?
Ew.
Like, nothing wrong with being single, but she's, even told Christine, like, if you're young and healthy, like, why not be with someone new? So it's
I
like,
think, and I'm just guessing, but I think Janelle thinks she's never going to find a man. So might as well just technically stay with Cody. But if she found a man, I think she'd change her tune.
And I thought about that too, because she always talks about her independence. So I'm like, would she want to find a guy that's fine with, going off and doing his own thing for a couple days? Or would she feel smothered having a monogamous lifestyle?
I think she'd be fine as long as they weren't controlling.
Yeah.
Somebody like my husband who's always let me do my thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He's always been so supportive of anything I do. He's always my biggest cheerleader. So if you have somebody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But he was probably on time to officiate a non-family member's wedding in the middle of the pandemic. Rude of him to show up. That's so true.
I forgot about that.
Well, that's true. Robin was telling us how her virginity was taken from her.
Ew.
That was so disgusting.
He took her purity and he threw it away. Like, stop it.
Girl, you gave it. You gave it away. Stop acting like you didn't.
And she even says, like, she went through a rebellious phase and got pregnant. So, because the way she was talking, I was like, is she seriously accusing him of assaulting her? Is that what she's trying to say?
That's the way I took it. She's going too far.
Because she said, I don't remember how she worded it, but she said, like, he kept begging for it until she gave in. It's like, you make it sound like you were forced, which we know what that means.
Which is really bad, too, because those kids still see their dad.
And it's like right in front of Dayton, she's saying that was the biggest mistake of her life. It's like, oh, how sweet. You're telling your son right in front of him.
That's horrible. I just couldn't even believe she did that.
And I thought, that poor kid.
She's not right.
No. And then it couldn't have been that big of a mistake because she went on to marry and have 2 more kids with him. So if, sleeping with him was a mistake and kind of forced on her, why would she,
It's awful convenient. And that in hindsight, she wasn't willing to stop it.
Well, she likes to rewrite history because she's acting like she got her purity back somehow to give to Cody. And then
it's like, no, you didn't, Robin. No, you didn't.
Yeah. And then had the guy do that painting or sketch with Cody's face with her kids.
That was so gross. That was so gross.
Create a memory. It's like, you are trying to erase their life as if they've been with Cody the whole time, and that's freaking weird.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
So weird.
but
You can't
then
just act like that he's never their dad. And like I said, they say they still see him. So
even right after the adoption, or yeah, I think it was after the adoption, they went to, was it Montana or uh, some out of state like visit with him. It's like,
yeah, for like a couple weeks.
yeah, it's like, wait a minute, what is happening here?
Whose original picture was that? Wasn't it Christine's?
Yeah, that was Christine's, and then she had
See, I would have been like, no, ma'am. No, we're not doing this. Leave
like,
my
it was just
picture
so,
alone.
it was so creepy. And then when she brought it out, everyone's just kind of like, why couldn't you have taken a picture from the adoption and gotten that sketched or put on a canvas instead of taking a baby picture and acting like he's been there? That was so weird. Like,
It's so
creepy.
weird. Her mind is not right.
No.
She's got a black soul, I'm telling you.
That's why when she says, oh, this was her dream, it's like, I think her dream is not what she's letting on.
But see, look what she did. She came in and should have been the last wife and made herself the first wife. And then says first wife doesn't matter, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
It does matter.
Well, what's weird is they kept saying the marriage was for legal reasons to adopt the kids, but they got married before they even tried to adopt them. So
Well,
I was
I
like,
think
why
for
do
a
you?
while they were saying it was so they could insure the kids. But then when Dayton had his accident, he wasn't insured, right?
Yeah.
Because he ended up owing all those huge medical bills. So that was a lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Because people were saying it's weird that Dayton's surgery for his eye, like, was taken care of, whatever, but Isabel's, Christine had a crowd fund for that because she didn't have, I don't know if she had insurance for her or not, but either way, Cody wasn't on top of it. It became up to Christine.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah. And
that was when I actually bought some LuLaRoe clothes because I felt sorry for her.
Yeah. And after the because with the adoption too, it was so weird that they did the marriage, and I'm like, you don't even know if the guy's gonna agree to it or not. So it was, they jumped the gun on that. But also, I was like, okay, if it's just for legal reasons, why not let Mary marry him again, or let Christine have, because Christine really wanted the marriage license. So it's like, if it was just for legal, why not get divorced after a certain amount of time?
Listen, Janelle knew. Remember her face when they told her? And she was like, this is going to change everything. And they're like, no, no. And she's like, yes, it will. And it did.
Yeah.
Changed everything. And just saying exactly right. That means she has all the legal rights to all the money, all the properties.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Being first wife matters a lot. I don't care what any polygamists say. They all know it matters.
Well, look where they are now. Like, her name is on everything. So
yeah, and Janelle has nothing.
Yeah. It's like, wow, she got to get all of her debt paid off, get her credit back up.
Well, they finally got the land paid off.
Yeah.
So I guess at least she's got that, but that's not much to show for 30 years of marriage.
No. And she's having to live in RVs and apartments, whereas Robin hasn't worked the entire time and gets the not just the biggest house, it's huge. Gets to have all her kids with her. Like, she's made it out like a bandit, while Janelle, what does she have?
Yeah, Janelle got so screwed, and she's smarter than that.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe she let herself get in that position. She's too nice.
Yeah.
She was too manipulated, and I hate it for her.
And that's what bothers me too, is I think if she were to go to them and be like, okay, why don't you guys downsize your house? That way we can put some money. I'm referring to 2021. Why wouldn't they downsize their house and get some money to put towards the land? There's no way they would.
I wonder if they were smart, they would just sell it right now, because if these interest rates keep going up, nobody's going to buy it.
No.
They need to get that property sold right now. Give everybody their money and part ways.
That's why
You know what I
when,
mean? Pay off Mary, pay off Janelle,
yeah.
be done
And
with it.
when Christine said, let's just sell it and move, they should have done it then
Yeah,
because
they
they
should
knew
have done it right then.
they knew they weren't going to build, but Robin didn't want to go to Utah, so they weren't going to go. And even though Janelle didn't want to move, I think she would have eventually because she's in Utah all the time and traveling all over.
You know,
So
the only thing that didn't make sense to me too with Janelle was, um, on the tell-alls from last season, they said they were separated.
yeah.
So her conversation with Christine doesn't make much sense when Christine's going, "Oh, I didn't know it was that bad." But you guys already told us they were separated last season. See, some of this stuff don't add up.
Well, the tell-all, I think they filmed that. Well, okay, so on the show, that was 2021, end of 2020, November, December. The tell-all, I don't think they filmed it until 2022.
Oh, so you think that was after they filmed this season?
Yeah, because Christine, I think it was. Gosh, it's so confusing. So
If that was true, though, you would think they would have taken that part out.
Yeah,
Because the continuity, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because when Janelle on the last season tell-all, she mentions, "Oh, after Cody and I had our big fight." So I think they became officially separated after that.
See, that's so confusing as a viewer.
That's why TLC needs to get it together because it's so confusing. And then there was people thinking that this current season we're on was only from last year. It's like, no, we're 2 years behind.
That's crazy to do 2 years behind. Crazy. Oh, we do got to talk about Mary's hint on her Instagram. What does everybody think she was talking about? Is she getting married or is she changing her last name?
I think she either wants to change it just because or just for future. She plans on changing it if she gets married.
You don't think she has a man and is getting married?
No.
I think she could be.
I
Mary
mean,
is not one to stay alone. I don't think Mary will stay alone. She's too. I mean, she was way into her catfish dude. So
she moved. She finally moved to Utah. It was this year, right? Like back in the spring.
I don't know because I'm so confused on the timelines.
Well, because people are saying that there was film crew when she was moving. So,
do you remember what her exact words? She did a live with her girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, you have to keep in mind how behind the show is. She kept emphasizing the show is way behind.
Yeah.
And then she said, how did she say it about her name?
Oh, I don't remember. It was just.
She said something like, and then there could be a name change. And they both start laughing, her and her friend.
I thought she said, if for when I ever change my last name or
something like that.
Yeah.
I should have gone back and rewatched it.
I think she meant that as like eventually she plans to, which that shocked me because she's been
I
married.
think whatever it is already done because she kept saying how far behind the show was.
Well, I think that too because a lot of fans, they react to things certain way as if it's like present time. So, because when people say like, "Why don't you leave Cody?" and she's probably like, "I already did." So,
yeah, I don't know. It's very. I thought it was very odd that she emphasized that the show was so far behind, and then hints that her last name is going to change. So, if that was 2 years ago, she most certainly could have got a boyfriend, got engaged, and be getting ready to get married.
Well, and she said on Instagram, I think it was today or yesterday, that it was something about having someone's back and not having their back just because I disagree, blah, blah, blah. So, because I think people were saying, like, how can you still have Robin's back after, everything? But I don't know. The thing she says on the show makes me think she's not as tight with Robin anymore. And notice how she's always said, like, she didn't like how Christine is always taking digs at Cody. So if she's going to change her last name, I wouldn't think she would do that just to spite Cody. I
don't either. So that's why I think she's getting married. I think Mary is getting married. I think she got a man. I think she
Well,
got engaged.
she's in New York City right now because her post she was at uh, Central Park. But I don't
See,
know.
she's out and about all the time. She could easily meet somebody, you know?
Yeah, because being that she just moved to Utah, I don't know if she would have already met someone serious enough to be getting married.
Well, look how fast Christine found somebody and is getting married.
That's true.
So, I mean, for all we know, she could have had something going on during the show because she did that before.
That's the other thing people bring up too, because they're like trying to figure out when she met David, because people are acting like she cheated on Cody, because in their mind, whatever's on the show is like in real time. So they're
Yeah.
like, how did she go from like she just left Cody and now all of a sudden she's getting married? She had to have been talking to him for, it's like, no, she left in 2021 and then met David last year, end of 2022. She said she met him in October of last year on a dating app.
It is confusing though, with them being
Yes.
2 years behind.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
that's
I really do feel like Mary's engaged and going to get married, but I think she can't come out and say it till the show's done.
right.
Which brings us to, is this going to be the last season? Every year I say this is going to be the last season.
Well, they're filming for 19, but I wonder if they'll do like an even 20, or because I think they might end it on Christine's wedding. That might be like the final hurrah.
I wonder if it would be. I could see him doing a spinoff with Janelle and Christine though, because they're so well liked. You know their numbers got to be really high.
Yeah.
Their TV numbers.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be called Sister Wife. I don't think they can continue with the show as a, like I said, even now, even this season is a lot of rehash of last year because I think there's not enough story.
Well, that's why I was wondering what they were going to do with like the intro, because the same one they've been using, it's makes it seem like they're still together. It's like, I wonder if they'll even have.
I wonder why it still only shows one ring falling off. It should show 3, right?
And that's showing how more far behind they are, because they all 3 should be falling.
Yes. And at least 2 should have fell.
Yeah. So it almost seems like TLC is, are they insulting us by thinking we're not up to date with what's going on?
Yeah, I think if they're going to continue, they need to get more in current time. This 2 years out is crazy.
I'm assuming this one will end like last time where it was, I think it was right after Christmas. I'm hoping this one will end by then, and then by spring they'll have the next season and be somewhat up to date, because I heard that they film for like a year. And it's like, that's fine and all, but hurry up with your editing.
There's no way they're filming for a whole year.
Yeah. In some
if they're
shows,
filming for a whole year and this is all they got, something's wrong.
well, even like My Big Fat Fabulous Life, they film and then they finish, and then like 4 months later they air it. So I don't know why Sister Wives is 2 years behind when other shows are like a few months. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What happened in 2020 is why the show, yeah, I agree. I think they were just about to be canceled when all this happened. And I think it was what we were all waiting for, was them to finally be real about how miserable they all were.
Yeah.
And they finally told the truth about how miserable they all were. Polygamy doesn't work for anybody. I don't care. It works for the men. That's the only people it works for.
Yep. Because when I don't know if it was season 15, 16, every episode was, what are we going to do with Coyote Pass? I don't want to be in the trees. Well, I don't want to be here. Like, that's all it was. And then I think Christine leaving is what revived it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, holy crap.
Well, it's just like the Bravo show, Vanderpump Rules. That was going to be the last season. You can tell when that they show that last scene with Lisa at her bar. You can tell that was going to be the goodbye. And then Scandal happened, and they had to hurry up and re-edit everything to keep going. And now they got another season.
Yeah. And that one season that ended with Mary saying, "Look at the mountain," because Christine wanted to leave. I thought that was kind of them trying to clickbait in a way. But then when the next season showed up and she was really leaving, I was like,
oh my gosh, this is crazy. And
I
now
always
that,
it always echoes in my mind. This is going to show my age from when MTV had the Real World, and it said
yeah,
when things stop being fake and start being real. And
yeah,
that's what I feel like finally, the last couple seasons of Sister Wives, it finally got real.
yeah. Oh, it did. And
It
that's what
took what 16 years, but it finally got real.
and that's what Peyton said too. Like their whole point of the show was to show how great polygamy is, and it's not. It might, but not for them. At least not anymore.
No, and I think Cody's full of crap saying that's what started unraveling stuff was because they went public.
No.
Them going public did not, it kept them together longer than they
Yeah.
probably would have been
Well, and
because they
it's
all
like,
needed the money.
well, when has he ever blamed it on that until
Yeah,
now?
never till now.
Because if that was really the problem, they would have said, "Okay, no more, we're done." But no, they
No,
kept
because
going.
even when that first season happened, people say they were saying back then he made that up because nobody was looking for him in Utah. Nobody was going to arrest him. He just did that for the show, which
Yeah,
it did put the show off with a bang, right? Oh my God, they're going to get arrested. They got to hurry and move to Vegas.
yeah. And the Darker family, they were out in the open too, but nobody was after them. So it's like, why all of a sudden the Brown family
Aren't
is?
they all getting divorced now too?
Are they really?
I thought they were. Or is it another one?
Oh, there was. I don't even know their names, but there was another polygamy that was on the show, and they're not. They all broke up. But yeah, the
Yeah,
Darkers,
I
as far as
can't
I know,
remember for sure. It was somebody that was on the show with them.
yeah, I don't
I'd
remember
love
their
to
name.
be multiplied.
I think it was that couple that they would stare in each other's eyes when they would take the first bite of dinner.
That was so creepy.
Yeah, they're the ones that broke up, which I can't imagine why.
Big surprise there. Well, the
Yeah,
Dargers like are two sisters, right? Which I always
yeah,
thought was creepy.
yeah. That's weird. It's like you're in-laws, but you're also spouse. Like that's weird. And
Yeah,
then the kids.
they could name it ex sister wives. It is funny that Janelle and Christine are more sister wives now than they ever were before.
Yeah, and I want to know back then, like more tea on what was so bad with like Mary, because remember Janelle said they would argue about, do oranges go in the fridge? When do they eat dinner? What do
Yeah,
they
did
eat
you
for
ever
dinner?
read their book?
No.
Because it goes into it quite a bit about how mean Mary was. And she said how, now she said Cody too. Cody tries to act like he's innocent.
Yeah.
Because Janelle said when she came in, they would make her feel like such a third wheel. Try to watch a movie with him, and they would be kissing and hanky pankying under a blanket right in front of her.
Cody and who?
Mary.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. When she first moved in with him.
Oh, Lord.
She said it was horrible. It was so awkward. So she would just go to her bedroom so that they could kiss and make out and her not have to listen to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's why she left. Remember, Janelle left for a while
Yeah.
because things got so bad. And she said Mary was horrible. Like she didn't want anybody cooking in her kitchen. And if you did it wrong and you didn't clean it right and you didn't buy the right food.
That's what's so weird, because she's the one that pushed for the polygamy, but then ended up being so territorial about it.
Well, I'm sure their ages had something to do with it too, because they were awfully. Mary was young.
Yeah, what,
She
19?
was 19. He was 22. And I think Janelle was older than both of them, right?
I want to say she's the same age as Cody. Or maybe year younger, older. But yeah, and then Robin comes in, she's what, 10 years younger?
Yeah, the younger woman. These women, we all know better. We would have never let that happen.
No. And she even pointed it out, like, oh, and they had stretch marks and weight gain. It's like, oh, you bitch.
Yeah, like she doesn't. Come on. She's
Well,
gained weight.
Look at her
I'm sure
now.
she's
Like,
got some stretch marks.
well, the other three are like looking better than ever. And I mean, if you watch the older episodes and now, they almost look like her younger self was her younger sister. Like, I cannot believe how much they've aged. in only 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, Valerie read the book. Yeah, you got to read the book. It's got some juicy stuff, and it made me sad though that Cody put in about the part about Christine eating nachos and how it made him physically ill watching her. Why would
Yeah.
you put that in the book? If
Well, then,
the only reason to put that in the book was to be a total asshole.
yeah. And then they talk about it on TV, and poor thing, she's like, yeah, I was chubby. You know, who would want to watch me eat nachos? It's like, no, don't, no,
No.
no.
Well, at
That's what,
least he finally admitted that he only married her because she was royalty.
yeah. And that's what he acts like he's the greatest, like God's gift to women. And people have said he was even like that in high school. So he just never.
Well, a lot of them said they thought he was gay in high school.
Yeah.
So I said he could be repressing something.
And then those people, they're like, yeah, he's a showboat. He likes to be center of attention. Like, well, yeah. And people were saying that was probably why he didn't go to Isabel's surgery and didn't do the other weddings, because him officiating that one wedding, he got to be center of attention.
He was such an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, I knew because I said when that happened that Christine was done. When he didn't go to that surgery, that marriage was over.
Oh, for sure.
That's when it was over.
And I wish she would have pointed out that even when she was home and like recovering, he couldn't even come over and like take over for a night to help her. And Janelle's like, I'll stay in the backyard. I'll come and help. And he couldn't even bother to help. Like, come on.
It breaks my heart for his daughters, and especially her to know that her dad would not come. It's horrible.
And then to say, you're not going to be a bitter old housewife over it. It's like,
That was such a weird comment too. A housewife.
Yeah.
Like she's one of his wives. I'm like, you're such a creep, Cody. Shut up.
Yeah.
She's a young woman. She's not a housewife.
Well, and if he's thinking like she's going to grow up and, react over this, it's like, well, then that she's going to be affected by it one way or another.
She was so affected by it.
And then, so when he says, it's Christine and Janelle putting stuff in their kids' heads, it's like, no, it's the little things that you're not showing up for, the big things you're not showing up for. It's like, that's not their mom.
Nobody wants to see their mom treated like crap. Even if you're in a monogamous, God, I cannot talk, relationship, you don't want to see your mom or your dad be treated bad.
No.
That doesn't even have anything to do with polygamy, really. I mean, you're going to resent the other parent.
Yeah. And I think it was back to Robin too. She shows up and he's rolling out this red carpet for her. And it's like the kids had to give up everything, like change that whole dynamic that they knew their whole lives, had to pack up and move in the middle of the night. And then all of a sudden, oh, we're pregnant. It's like they threw so much change at them and they weren't allowed to react like teenagers and be upset.
Yeah.
Like, that's always made me, and I think Robin takes that personal and holds on to it. Like, they never accepted me for, it's like, what would you do in their situation?
Yeah.
So, and then I know Mary was supportive, but it's like that had to hurt her too, that she couldn't have more kids. And then this young new wife gets pregnant right off the bat.
Yeah. And I always said when she offered to carry Mary's baby, that was BS. She was never going to do that. That was just for the camera.
Oh, 100%.
That was never going to happen. That was another one of those things that'll never happen for $500.
Yeah.
Robin's neck rolls.
People still bring that up too. And it makes me wonder, like, is she fine?
She has a goiter, because I've got the same thing. People bring up mine all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, especially like even if I go to like an eye doctor, they'll go, have you had your thyroid looked at?
Yeah.
Because mine looks exactly like hers. You get that roll at the bottom where the goiter is.
Like real ones?
No, they didn't accept each other because polygamy doesn't work. It just doesn't. Those women are always, I don't care what they say, they're always jealous. They're always miserable. None of them like living like that.
No.
Yeah. Nobody's happy in a polygamous except the man. Again, it's built to serve a man. But
Well,
that's the whole Mormon religion is built to serve men.
Well, remember when he said, I don't remember what episode it was, but he said it's the men that get the, the crappy end of the deal in polygamy. And I was like,
Yeah.
when have you gotten, other than, people being critical, but it's like, you show me one time where he's had it worse than the wives.
Never. Never.
And so when he acts like a victim, it's like, dude, you wanted this. So I don't understand why he's such a victim.
Yep. Him and Robin, the perpetual victims.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is when have you seen her be, overly affectionate, or, it was like she was always involved in the group things, but when did you ever see her be one-on-one with, the other kids?
No, never.
Or,
except I guess McKelty.
Yeah. But that was because she was their babysitter, like their live-in babysitter. And then didn't Aspen move in with her too for a little bit?
That's what I was thinking too. It's weird to me that a couple of the girls moved in with her.
Yeah.
It's kind
like
of weird.
she's always had
there is a thing where when your daughter becomes a teenager, they hate their mothers. They all go through it. Katie hated me.
Oh.
And then once she got into college and became an adult, she adored me and we became friends. But all teenage girls don't like their mom.
Yeah.
So I think that had a lot. It's just a phase they all go through. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And in my opinion, it wasn't good for them to move in with her, because then you don't have to fix this relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
You can just ignore it for a while and keep putting it off. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Counselor Robin.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and
no, right?
And Robin's daughters never seem to be rebellious against her either. So I'm wondering, were they even allowed to be? Because I feel like Robin instilled in them, like, you need to show respect. You need to show you're grateful that, we found this family, and,
Yeah, I've read a lot about the Mormon religion too, and its beginnings and how it started. And it's really crazy if you read about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those teenage years with the dog. And Katie and I had a great relationship till she became a teenager, and it was great again once she turned like 20. And now we're just getting apart.
Yeah.
But it's just something where, and they love their dad. Their dad can do no wrong. Their mom is a piece of crap. Sorry, Carly, but it is what you're going to go through.
Oh, I already know. I see it now.
And see, it was worse for me because I was also raising my niece, who's the same age as Katie. So she hated me and Katie hated me. And oh my God, they were always slamming doors. And
yeah, my husband doesn't agree with me. I said, no, it's going to happen. It is what it is.
Yeah, you just have to get through it.
Yeah.
I kept reminding myself, she'll get through this. It'll turn around. And I was kind of, I'd be like, you deal with her.
Yeah.
Since you're the only one she loves right now, you can deal with her.
And look how Christine's relationships are with all her kids. They're all like best friends with her, all of them. And then none of them are close with Cody, except McKelty. I don't know, because she seems like I can't tell if she's just being civil or if she really just ignores what they do and say. Did we lose you? Are you still there? Or are you just reading chat? Hello?
Oh my God, I had myself on mute.
Oh, I thought we lost you.
I did too. Rusty was vacuuming, so I muted myself for a second, and I went, oh my God. I was talking away and I'm muted.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh my gosh. I don't even remember what I said now, but I said a lot.
I brought up McKelty, but I don't know what you said.
Trying to remember now. Oh, I think I was talking to Valerie because I was saying, yeah, we had talked about that earlier about, the adult, when the kids become adults and get married and go off, everything
Yeah.
changes anyway.
Yeah.
His life was going to change regardless if Christine left.
I think Robin assumed that no matter what, every year, everybody would travel to her house for Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And that just wasn't going to happen. Kids get older and start leaving, everything changes. I hate it because I think like this is going to be the first Thanksgiving. It's just going to be me and Rusty, the first one ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's going to be hard for me. But I don't blame it on my kids. I get it. They got lives outside of me now. So
Yeah.
imagine that. Who told them they could do that?
Right. Not you.
Because I love cooking Thanksgiving. I love
Me
Thanksgiving.
too. Yeah, when she said, the kids, she seemed like offended that the kids weren't going to come. It's like, even if COVID hadn't been a thing, it's like, it just is what it is. Not every, because even, what's her name? Madison, she's all the way North Carolina. So it's like what it would cost for her to take her family of 5 to travel, it'd be a lot. So it's like, Robin, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Things
I thought
don't stay the same, unfortunately.
because I thought she had said they were hoping Flagstaff would be where everybody would come home or move back to.
They thought all the kids would come there and live. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, like if they can't even find rentals, it's like, what makes you think your kids are going to even have a place to live?
Plus, the cost of living is so high there.
Yeah. Well, and it's just nobody wanted to move to begin with. Remember when they announced they were moving? Nobody wanted to move. So why would they all flock back there?
Yeah, Valerie, I was saying I was surprised they didn't go back and edit that. Because I get that was filmed before he transitioned. See, I'm so bad at this. But I do think they should have gone back and edited it somehow, or because people are throwing a fit because they don't realize the show is 2 years behind.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Leon would be on the show.
See, I feel like they want to be more private because when was the last time they were on? What was that? 2 seasons ago?
Yeah, but she was popping up on TikTok for a while after he started transitioning.
Oh, yeah.
But then they, I think, disappeared again. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe they just wanted privacy during that time.
Yeah.
I thought it would be intriguing to follow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of the kids just kind of went radio silent. Like I heard Logan doesn't want to be part of the show, and his wedding was not even filmed. So we won't get to see that other than, I think, pictures, people were saying. Who else? Hunter seems to be only on there just kind of randomly.
Well, none of those kids probably got paid. Yeah. I'm sure they did not. I'm sure. I think only the last couple of years was the money split among them. I think before it was one check for the whole family.
Yeah.
And then I think the women wised up and were like, listen, we better start getting our own checks.
And someone said, too, it's so unfair that Robin and Cody seem to be calling the shots as far as, well, for one, if they won't even film inside Robin's house, which is weird. When they did the tell-all, she was the one messaging him about what to answer and not answer.
Yes, I'm sure she was.
And the host, I'm like, okay, is she just soft, or is, she being told what to ask him and what to push on or not?
Yeah, I don't think that host is hard enough on any of them.
Because you remember the old one
too easy, where most of them would try to get an answer.
Well, because the show host that they had before that, she seemed to be tougher on them, and Cody didn't seem to like her. So I bet he was like, "We need a new host. I don't like the way she spoke to me and Robin."
Oh, Valerie, that was Peyton that did that when he went on John Yates. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Peyton's, but
But I think he would spill the tea though. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
keep
that's
checking
true.
I keep checking to see if he posts anything. Because remember he said on John Yates too that there was a lot he couldn't say.
Yeah.
But I bet he was itching to bring that up.
I don't think Cody does, just saying. I don't think Cody has a relationship with Leon from what you read online.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, he was okay with being gay, but not being transgendered.
Yeah.
And I can believe that because, like I said, I was shocked that him and Robin were so welcoming about him being gay.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the Mormon religion, that's not acceptable. So,
yeah. I think Gwen had said that too.
said what?
That their religion doesn't normally accept LGBT.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
for sure. Yeah, it's very.
But they seemed supportive back then, so that's why you wonder, was that all for cameras or...
See, I wondered that too.
Because I thought it was so weird that Robin was... Because, Mary seemed to be kind of stunned by it, and she's telling her, like, how to talk to her daughter about it, and it's like, where do you get off? Because I don't think she would have the same reaction if it was one of her kids.
I could never disown one of my kids for anything.
No.
They're my kids forever.
Exactly. Like,
but I could see Cody doing it, and I wonder where Robin stands on it,
Well, the fact that he's willing to just dismiss his kids for simply, disagreeing with him, not following his rules, I could see him, cutting them off or something like that. Which is so weird, too, because he said, I never said I wanted an apology. It's like, yes, you did.
See, that's what I think, just saying. I think they were just didn't want the backlash they get if they didn't act like they were okay with it. And I think Mary's was the only true reaction. I think Mary was being real, and that's how she really felt in that moment.
Yeah.
Especially when you're raised in a religion that looks down on it so much, that's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't fault her for that. Because I was like,
no, I didn't either, because I thought it was very real, and it probably resonated with a lot of people that have been through it.
Yeah. And the whole point is she came around. So it's...
Yeah.
Like if
and from what you read online, she's fine with it. It's Cody who isn't, if you can believe what you read online, and a lot of it's been true. So,
yeah.
Sadly.
Sometimes I can't tell if people are saying it just because they assume, or, because when they say a source, it's like, I don't think he's going to tell any kind of source something like that. I just don't see him doing that.
See, that's me, Valerie, and I think that's how Janelle and Christine felt. Because they kept telling him, don't make me choose between you and my kids because you will lose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same way.
And that's the thing, too, is a lot of the kids will, I think they're mama's boys. So if they see, and they probably watch the show back, too. And if they saw him yelling at Christine and Janelle like that, oh, there's no way.
Well, think about even the scene where he's kissing Robin while Christine's in labor.
Yeah.
If you were Christine's son, you'd be pissed.
Yeah. They
Talk
even
about
said
disrespectful.
And they said even, because when they were in Vegas, they were all pretty young. And I think it was one of them said she noticed it, and she was only 10, 11 years old at the time. And that's pretty young to notice, things like that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he acts like the kids don't have their own mind, and that he's so great that the only reason they would think otherwise is if their mothers are brainwashing them.
Yeah, please.
And even the COVID rules, it's like Christine could say all day long, let's follow these rules. And they could say no, but his whole thing was, well, then kick them out. It's like, why would I kick them out when you're wanting them to be sheltered? And, it's like, I'm not going to, kick my kid out just because you feel offended.
Yeah.
It's like, And then now that he's not as afraid of COVID anymore, but he's still holding on to, well, they don't respect me, so we're not going to get together.
Yeah, it's like Janelle said, it was just another reason not to get together. Because now he can't use COVID. So now he's going to use, well, until they apologize to me and Robin, we're not going to get together. It's so stupid.
And now he's saying, I never wanted an apology. It's like, well, it's the same thing. If you're saying they need to respect me, it's like you're wanting them to come to you and say, we're sorry, we will respect you. We should have respected you the whole time and wiped down our mail.
Well, and the phone goes both ways. He could pick up the phone and call him any day he wanted.
And same
try
with
to
Robin.
get this resolved and healed with his. I mean, I still forget that one with, was it Gabe crying?
Yeah.
That broke my heart when
that made me tear up.
I was just like, oh, this is going to kill me. I can't do this.
But that's supposed to be Janelle's fault or Christine's fault. It's like, you're the one that.
I don't know how Cody could watch that and not run to him and say, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, if he couldn't resolve it after watching his son cry like that, that's some cold-hearted BS.
Yeah, and I bet Janelle watched it and was like, "Oh hell no."
You know, that pissed me off too, Stacy, talking about when they got COVID, because remember before that, Janelle got COVID. Nobody gave a shit about her and all of her kids being sick. Nobody offered to help her, but then everybody, the world's supposed to cave in because Cody and Robin got it.
I almost wonder if he exaggerates it just to justify him keeping everybody apart. Because if he were to say, it actually wasn't that bad, I felt okay, and then people would be like, wow, we stayed apart for, almost 2 years because of what?
For nothing.
So, yeah, so I think he exaggerates it to justify them being apart.
He's so full of it, though, because we all saw him sitting in the car thinking about making up lies just so he could go be with Robin. Why he allegedly had COVID and was sick. He didn't look that sick.
And then he shows his temperature. It's like, you're not even at 100 degrees.
I know. I'm like,
you're acting like you had it worse than anybody in the world had it.
Girl, when I was at 102, I thought I was dying, but I wasn't in a van or in a car sitting in hospital parking lots filming myself. That's how sick I was.
When I had it, I had a fever, but the worst part, my body hurt all over. And even holding my phone, like that hurt. It felt like I was lifting a 50-pound weight. So when Robin's like laying in bed, like her arm above her face like that recording, I'm like, oh gosh, give me a break.
I could have never. I was so sick. No, I could not have held a phone up and done anything.
No.
I had muscle aches so bad and fever so high,
and I wouldn't want to like see myself. I'd be like, oh God, that's not pretty. But she's just laying in bed. Like, I'm waiting to see the doctor. And she had no oxygen on.
That's the first thing I said. She's not that sick. They didn't even put her on oxygen.
And then they sent her home and he's like, we didn't know she was going to make it. It's like, do you know how many people are watching this and want to throw their remotes at you for complaining about the case you got? And then even still, Christine's like, laugh about it, and he's like, do you imagine, like, I was depressed over it? That's not funny. It's like, oh my God, shut up.
Yeah, that's my husband. I was thankful he was able to get the infusion. I don't know if he'd have made it if he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because with his immune system from the transplant. Yeah.
Well, now he's acting like they got to protect Aurora at all costs. So that's why they're not getting together.
It's ridiculous. Aurora's going to get it. I'm sure she's had it by now. If she goes to school, she's going to get it.
Well, remember back in the day, they used to have chicken pox parties?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, why didn't they just let her get it then and be done with it instead of, got to keep her in a bubble or something now. But like Janelle said, he's just looking for any excuse to not get together. And I like that she kept bringing up that, why didn't we have these rules before? Or like, these rules seem ridiculous. And Robin's like, well, I've been doing them for 7 months. It's like, if you've been doing this for 7 months, why didn't we know when we were trying to get together? So
the secret rules that they didn't tell anybody that they were supposed to be following but didn't know about.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And even Christine asked him, like, why is it the nanny can come and go, but we can't? Like, what is she doing that we're not? What is
And
the
it
nanny?
was the nanny that ended up making him sick, right?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
got it. Well, she didn't get them sick, but she had it. And then it was Brianna that got it from school. And brought
Oh,
it.
okay. I thought the nanny gave it to him.
No, they tested after her and then they were fine. But it was Brianna that brought it home from school because they let her go in person. And then next thing you know, she brought it home. And it's like, if that's not karma, I don't know what is.
Did you guys see that school in Kentucky that had to close already? Because all the
No.
kids have, I don't, are we allowed to say it on YouTube now? Anyway, they all got the virus, the flu, and strep throat. They had to shut the whole school down.
How many kids had it?
I guess the majority of the school.
Wow.
But that's why, I've always said every time they go back to school, strep throat goes around. Every time.
Yeah. Well, that's not good.
No, I mean, it's, that if you get all three, I can't even imagine. That's terrible.
No.
Yeah, Robin can't clean her own house or take care of her own kids. What does she do? It's
That's
not what does the nanny do, it's what does Robin do?
That's what I understand. It's like, I can understand having nanny or someone to help, if you're both working full time or just once in a while, but it sounds like she's a full-time nanny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make shirts that says what does Robin do?
Yeah. Because
Instead of what does the nanny do?
I just cannot believe Mary is saying like how cold it is and she doesn't invite her in.
That
like,
whole scene was so awkward.
And
Mary thought she was going in the house.
And then the way Robin opened the door, it seemed like she was trying to like be secretive about it too. So,
Well, yeah, because you could see all the boxes.
Yeah. And some people were saying it's either because she doesn't clean or it's she doesn't want people seeing like basically how much she shops. Like if she's got a lot of boxes, she probably shops a lot. And it's like, why does she shop if,
I know that picture somebody put on TikTok. These were big boxes.
Yeah.
Not like regular shopping stuff, more like, I don't know, they were big.
Mm-hmm.
Big boxes, like furniture.
Yeah.
That size boxes.
And I'm surprised TLC doesn't say, okay, we need to be able to film. So
yeah, I'm surprised they're letting her do that. That's crazy to have to film outside. If they can cram in Janelle's little tiny apartment.
Exactly. In her house or her apartment, she was still unpacking and it was a mess, but she didn't care. So
yeah, I mean, like who cares?
It's like, why is Robin so special? And then I'm like, well, if she was going to make him sit outside, why didn't Robin just go to Mary's house? So that way they're not sitting out in the cold.
That scene was so weird. And then when she gave her Cody's coat and gave her a Cody hug and that whole thing, I was like, no, stop it, ladies. That's just weird.
Bugged me because it's like, okay, Robin, it's not cute to Mary that, she's wanting Cody's affection and to be with him and he's dismissing her. And it's like Robin makes it seem like it's a cute little game and it's not.
Yeah. I was just like, that's gross.
Like, oh, it's like he's giving you a hug or I could pretend to be Cody. It's like, I don't know how Mary went along with it, but it's like, how did that not upset her?
I'm sure it did. I think she just swallows it,
Yeah. And I wonder if Mary ever regrets like pushing for her to be a sister wife.
I wonder that too.
Because
I always wonder, does she really care about Robin as much as she says, or is it just the kids? Because I know Mary adores those kids.
Well, back then I think it was, she had an ally because she wasn't close with Christine and Janelle. But now I feel like it's the kids. But then it's like, how often does she even get to see them? Because they're so weird about it.
It makes you wonder how bad it really is to be embarrassed to let you in my $1 million home. Yeah, same. Something's very wrong.
When they
Especially when you're on a reality show that needs to film in your house.
Yeah. Because when they filmed prior, it was fine. Like the house looked fine, but it's like, what's happened between now and then? So I'm wondering if it's just chaos all the time and she cleaned up for filming, but now it's just like, I don't want to do it anymore. So film outside.
Well, she's hinted a couple times that her and Cody have some kind of business they run together. I don't know.
Well, I heard she relaunched Sisterwives Closet.
No, she did not.
Yeah, that Mrs. Kickstand, she said that if you go to the site, it doesn't say under construction or whatever, and you can buy stuff.
They gave it all away in the little row things.
Like, I'll see if it'll show
That's
me.
so weird. Because I remember Mary and Christine both, they couldn't wait to get rid of that crap. They were giving all of it. They were, buy a shirt, get a free charm, buy 2 shirts, get a free necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end, they were just like, buy anything, get a free piece of jewelry because they were trying so hard to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So did you look it up?
I am right now.
I can't imagine they're going to do that again. That would be crazy.
Okay, so it's my Sisterwives Closet.
I don't know. These boxes look too big to be QVC, Stacy. I guess they sell big stuff. I guess they could be.
Oh, well, now it's back to we'll be back soon. So maybe they put it back up and took it down. Because all the 4 wives are still on there too. So it's definitely not updated.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to let her use their likeness anymore.
No.
At least not Christine and Janelle. She's not going to be able to do that.
Well, and it was a stupid idea to begin with because they would get the cheapy, medals and then charge, $100, $60. Like it was cheap stuff, but they were wanting to charge a lot more than it was worth. And then they go to those boutiques and then I think they were there a few hours and made like a couple $100. So that's why I was like, why would they still keep going with it? And then she got mad.
And some of it was so niche market because there's just not enough sister wives out there buying jewelry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are the hardcore extremist Mormons where those women probably don't even have access to the internet.
Well, and who's going to buy a necklace that says SW on it? Like, how many sister wives do you know?
Yeah, I hope she is too, Valerie. I'm hoping she'll, I don't think there's any repair in her and Cody's relationship. I just hope she finds somebody. I really feel like she thinks she's never going to find anybody, and I think she could because she's smart, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's got a great heart.
She's given
I think she's too hard on herself, and thinks, I'll never get a man anyway. So she just hits me as that kind of woman that.
When it's probably hard to start over after 30 years she's been with the same person, and it probably feels intimidating. Whereas Christine's like, let me at him.
Yeah, she was ready. Christine, she cracks me up.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to be alone anymore.
Well, I wonder where Janelle's living now, because in the pictures she posts, it doesn't look like the same kitchen in her apartment or the RV.
No, the pictures I've seen, it almost looks like a nicer condo she's living in or something.
Yeah.
Because it's got that little courtyard where she showed the plants she was growing.
Yeah.
So it looked nicer than an apartment, more like a condo.
And she still has that RV. So I'm wondering if she's going to stay in Flagstaff or not.
Yeah, that's what'll be funny is if she stays there or goes to Utah. I would think she would go to Utah.
That's what I thought too. But I remember her saying she was had no interest in going to Utah. But Garrison, he bought a house in Flagstaff. And I'm wondering if any of her other kids are going to live there too.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Because remember the reason she was telling Cody, I'm not going to kick him out. He's saving for a down payment on a house. And then he finally did. And he bought it.
I just didn't realize he was buying it there.
Yeah. And Gabe, I don't know where he's at. Savannah, I don't know if she's in college or what she's doing. And then Logan's in Vegas. Maddie's in North Carolina. Um, who else are her kids? I feel like Hunter. I thought he was East Coast. So her kids are kind of all over the place. So that's why I don't feel like she would stay in Flagstaff.
But her family's in Utah too, right?
I think so.
Nels?
Thought so.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's why, because I thought like, oh, maybe she'll stay in Flagstaff for Garrison. But she's got kids all over, so I don't see why.
Well, that's true. Now that the property's finally paid for, she could finally build.
I thought she
Valerie
might
was
build.
saying she could finally build her house.
Well, she made it seem like too she would buy it or build and then probably sell it. Because I don't see any of the kids ever wanting to go back there.
No, I don't either. Or she
'Cause-
could build it and rent it since there's a lack of rentals there, but
Oh, true. Because the idea
she could do
of
it just to piss Cody and Robin off.
yeah, I don't think those two will ever build. I don't think they even intended on it.
That's the problem, because if they don't, then there's nobody to split pulling all those utilities in.
No.
You know?
And that's why I'm like, now with all the three wives gone, how are they affording their lifestyle?
I know. I wonder, especially without Mary's money.
Yeah, because that house ain't cheap.
Of course, if he's only supporting Robin and her kids, then it's not going to take near as much, right? Because
Well,
he should be, in my opinion, he should be paying child support on Truly, but Christine said she wasn't going to make him pay it. So
Yeah.
really, he only has to support himself, Robin, and those kids.
I got to know what the mortgage is on that house, though, because that thing is huge.
Yeah, it's got to be a huge mortgage.
So that's why.
Well, they had to get money from both Mary and Janelle just to make enough of a down payment.
Yeah.
And I bet they only did 20%. They probably only did what they had to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I wonder. Well, and just with the kids all living there full time, it's like, I don't think they'll downsize. So,
Yeah.
are they making the kids get jobs, or I don't know.
I don't know. I think they already kicked Dayton out. So
Yeah, those girls though, they seem, because I used to think he was a lot closer to like Aspen and Madison, and now I think he's closest to those two.
yeah, for sure.
Brianna and Aurora, which is really
Well,
sad.
guys, I'm probably gonna get off here and go to bed.
Oh yeah, we've been talking for 2 hours.
I know it goes so fast when we're having fun.
Well, they
It
give
was
us so
so
much to
good
talk
seeing
about.
all of you.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll have to do it again soon.
Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it.
Give Kay a like, please.
My 9 o'clock's my bedtime, so
Oh, so you're ready for bed now.
yeah.
Yep.
Updates on what, Valerie? Updates, Kay? Yeah, business is still really good. I'm really thankful, but I'm just getting really tired. So I thought I had it sold a couple times, but they kind of fall apart. So not sold yet.
Yeah.
So I'm still, still saving for my retirement. I keep working going, well, if I just work another year, that's that much more retirement money. And maybe somebody will actually buy it. I really wish we could sell it. It seems a shame to shut it down when it's a very good business. I'm just getting too old. I'm getting up there.
Do you still have it advertised that it's for sale?
No, I never. It's always been word of mouth. Well, I'd put it on our Facebook page. So I am thinking too, I may talk to a real business real estate agent. I hate to do that though, because then they get such a big chunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, business is good, and I'm thankful for it. Let me tell you. I just wish we could hire some help. That's the other. If I could hire help where I didn't have to work so much, I wouldn't retire. But I can't keep working 6-7 days a week, man. I'm tired.
And find someone that won't talk so much.
YouTube's way more fun. Oh, he's finding his pension paperwork. Yeah, I don't have a pension. I am my pension. So that makes it a little harder when you're self-employed. But
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. It was so good seeing all of you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Carly. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good night.